Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, once more here at Orschwand in Ishgard, where were we? Here. It may take some time before I receive any information regarding your missing airship. While you wait, maybe you might indulge me in a small favor? It is obvious to me that you know much and more of the ways of war. I ask that you share that knowledge with our knights, so that they might be better prepared when next the Darvanian horde strikes. One of my veteran knights is presently conducting a training session just beyond our western gates. Pray seek him out and introduce yourself. He will explain how you can help. Oh, by the way, don't worry, I haven't changed my equipment, I just gave it a glamour because I was sick of these ropes. A fine moral to you, miss. Lord Orschwand tells me you possess a great deal of experience. Certainly more than the green boys I mean to test today. If you will allow it, I would like to even the odds by setting all three against you. No objection, yes? Then let us begin. Knights, 2 arms. It's far too loud. Okay. You certainly live up to Lord Orschwand's expectations. It was a privilege to watch you fight, miss. I observed everything from the western wall. Splendid performance, Desiree. I'm happy you have discerned this during your short time here, but House Fortoms regards outsiders differently than the other high houses. We have no objections to employing adventurers and sellswords, for example, whereas the others have, for all intents and purposes, forbidden the practice. They do so at their peril. To disregard a man's talent solely because of the circumstances of his birth is short-sighted and foolish. You know, after watching you spar with our knights, I'm reminded that you are a woman of action. Doubtless you would rather take a more active role in my inquiries, yes? Then let us discuss how you can do just that. Well, technically better, but it's also one of those items also take on the head slot. Huh. Okay. Actually looks pretty interesting. I take it. Yep. Looks make a decision. But I won't wear it right now, I believe. As you have doubtless realized by now, the high houses of Ishgard, House Fortoms included, are either unwilling or unable to offer you formal assistance in your search. However, that doesn't mean there are not influential individuals within each house who are sympathetic to your cause. Lady Nin of mine own House Fortoms, who resides here in Camp Dragonhead, rather enjoys the company of travelers. There's also Crevelin of House Helenard, who can be found at Skyfire Locks, though any information you pry from the scribe may prove difficult to pass. Have you spoken with the chief astrologian of House Duenday yet? Really? Perhaps he will be more accommodating once I inform him that you are a friend of House Fortoms. Do not concern yourself with House Desmail. I shall contact them myself. Secret Council of the Three I mentioned and return to me when finished. Okay, first Lady Nin. Yep. can't sit and talk, apparently. Why, hello, good madame. What's that? An airship, you say? I hate to disappoint you, but I know nothing of what you seek. Likely no one of House Photons does, for if I did, I would definitely know as well. The topic on everyone's lips these days is what will become of young Lord Francil. Some say the allegations are long overdue, given how many members of House Helena have been found guilty of heresy in recent days. You can do it. Alone grant me strength. There must be some way to... Oh, who are you? A friend of Lord Horstfront. I want to help you, I truly do, but these accusations of heresy have thrown House Helenet into chaos. Right now, we must focus on combating these charges and preserving our reputation. I gather you have been busy since last we spoke. Lord Orshifant's missive was positively glowing, but you think that his endorsement is cause for me to disregard Ishgardian policies, then you are sorely mistaken. We are at war, madame, and the enemy grows bolder by the day. Why, in the short time since Inquisitor Guilherme arrived in Corvus, countless heretics have been discovered, even among the elite of Ishgardian society. If Lord Orshifant wishes to waste his days chasing after a long-lost airship, then that is his choice, but if he expects others to share in his folly, then he is truly blind to the present state of affairs. That can of course mean two things. That since the Inquisitor has arrived, we have found so many heretics. Either it was a terrible state beforehand, or these people are being framed. By your countenance, I take it you did not learn anything of use? Nor did I fear. It seems the whole of Corvus is consumed by this talk of heretics in the high houses. We can only hope that my sources in Ishgard proper provide more pertinent information. I had another personal request to make of you. It concerns Lord Francil, of whom much has been whispered in recent days. I've received a report that he and 3 knights were seen heading north towards the Steel Vigil. The outpost was long overrun by the Dravanian horde, so I'm not certain what he intends to accomplish with such a small force. Whatever his motives, I fear for his safety. Pray journey to the Steel Vigil and see if Lord Francil's party requires assistance. Steel Vigil. Unfit Knight. Where's Lord Francil? Please, you must find him. There he is, okay. Who goes there? Desiree? No, stay back. The fiend's still here. Don't worry. So am I. Long be praised, you did it. But what of the others? The 3 knights who accompany me. Where are they? Oh, come on. Stop being annoying. Let's help the unfit knight. Confound it all! How How are we to redeem House Hellenat if we cannot even slay a single Avis? We are fortunate you came along when you did, miss. House Hellenat will remember your kindness. I heard the beasts cry from over yonder. Then Lord Francil is safe? Bless you, miss. Bless you. And the third knight is here, hiding behind the wall. Curse those fiends, as if though they knew we were coming. Maybe they did? It was a foolish thing to do, I know. But I had hoped we might demonstrate our devotion by slaying a number of Escalkin. Moreover, it was House Hellenat that yielded the steel vigil to the Horde many years ago. One might say that our defeat here heralded the slow decline of our house's once great name. We have been brought even lower by these despicable accusations of heresy, and despite my best efforts I have done naught to improve the situation. The day of my trial approaches. Soon I must accept the judgment of the Inquisitors, whatever it may be. But even should my protestations fall on deaf ears, I will proclaim my innocence to my dying breath. Okay, and return to Orschgrund. What did you find of the Steel Vigil? Ah, I see. A reckless plan, but at least it did not cost him and his knights their lives. I have news for you as well. A witness to the final flight of the Enterprise has been found. Alas, there is a complication. It has become common knowledge that you paid a visit to Lord Francil at Skyfire Locks not long ago. Upon learning of this, the witness became understandably reticent to make your acquaintance for fear of being seen in the company of a woman who might later be declared a heretic. Not unreasonable fear given the zeal with which Inquisitor Gilliam has conducted his investigation. In any case, if we wish to obtain his testimony, we must first clear Lord Francil's name, and by association, yours. Ah, I see. The key to proving Lord Francil's innocence is discrediting the evidence against him. I speak of a draconian rosary found in the chest you yourself recovered. If you would, please tell me of the incident in question. So it's found in a locked chest labeled as a property of Lord Francil. If the rosary was not his, then someone else with access must have planted it. Here's what you must do. Return to Skyfire Locks and speak with Wickerman. He works closely with the porters who ferry goods across Corvus, so you may have some inkling to who could be responsible. Okay. Wickerman. Huh? Someone tampering with shipments. Fury strike me off if all them rosaries found on our people's possession were planted. Hey, now, don't give me that look, lass. I'm a Hellenat man through and through. This heresy nonsense is bad for me and my family too. I ain't saying the porters what they bring the shipment at it though. I know most of them what work the trade routes, and I've never had cause to question their faith. But if it wasn't them neither, then your guess is as good as mine. After all, most every shipment is thoroughly inspected before it... Could it have been the fellas that were responsible for the inspections? Ha! Ishgardian knights and inquisitors, a lot of them, as if they'd ever turn back cloaks. I reckon that means the porters are most likely a suspect. Hate to think it, but maybe you should question them. There's a crew coming to Camp Dragonhead from Whitebrim Front today. You might consider having a word with them. Beg your pardon, you suspect that the porters have been planting draconian rosaries in House Hellenat's shipments? What on earth? If you truly believe such nonsense, search our past and see what you find. House Helena parcel? You find a Draconian rosary. House Desmel puzzle. No rosary. And House Helena parcel, more rosaries. Are we finished? If so, I would appreciate an apology. I found some. But it's impossible. Once the knight right in front concluded her inspection, I loaded the parcels into the wagon myself. If I had been the culprit, I would never have allowed you to search my shipments. Say what you will to Lord Orgevant, I will not be held accountable for this. Did something happen outside? I thought I heard something. Ah, but more importantly, what did Rickman have to say? More Draconian rosaries? In every single parcel bound for Skyfire locks? That beggars belief. Even the Inquisitors must acknowledge that this is no more than a crass attempt to sully House Helenard's reputation. Whoever is responsible has overplayed his hand. And place alone that he did. Lord Francis trials upon us, and we must act now if we are to clear his name. From the very first I knew it could not be that so many members of House Helenard were heretics. At last we can give a lie to these poisonous allegations and put an end to this travesty. I will need to prepare a formal statement regarding these developments for the Holy See. In the meantime, I would have you bear my word to Inquisitor Bridgie. Tell her that House Fortams asks, nay, demands, that Lord Francis' trial be postponed until a full investigation has been conducted. Okay, Inquisitor Bridgie. What is it, my child? Lord Orgevant would have the Inquisitors do what? But that's not possible. Inquisitor Guilherme presides over Lord Francis' trials at Witchdrop even as we speak. Fear not. If Lord Francis is indeed innocent, he shall walk in Halone's halls with the fallen heroes of Ishgard. They've taken Lord Francil to Witchdrop? This is madness! The Inquisitor does not have sufficient grounds to subject him to that manner of trial. I will not stand idly by and allow an innocent man to die. Desiree, I would dispatch you and one of my knights to Witchdrop to forestall the proceedings until such time as I'm able to join you and petition Inquisitor Guilherme in person. I will endeavor not to keep you waiting too long. Do whatever you must to keep Lord Francil alive. Okay, Witchdrop. Hail, Desiree. As you can see, Lord Francil yet lives. We must try to reason with the Inquisitor. But if his guard judge us a threat, we must also be prepared to defend ourselves. Jorson Chalmont Francil de Hollenat. You stand accused of heresy against the Holy See of Ishgard. Is there aught you wish to say in your defense? Hear me, brothers. These charges are false. The men and women of my line have ever opposed the Dravanians, and I'm no different. Since the very birth of our nation, we have gladly shed blood in the service of the Holy See. Condemn me, and you will strike a blow for the enemies of Ishgard. It is for alone to judge if you speak the truth. Prove your innocence in the eyes of gods and men. Leap from the cliff and entrust your fate to the Fury. The righteous shall take their place in Halone's halls, where the wicked shall reveal their draken forms and be put to the sword. In the name of House Phantoms, I beseech you, stay your hand. Inquisitor, we are come on behalf of Lord Horsefront. My lord has uncovered evidence which suggests that the charges against Lord Francil are without merit. We humbly request that these proceedings be suspended until such time as a full re-examination of the facts has been conducted. Lord Horsefront has allowed his personal relationship with the accused to cloud his judgment. That he should harbor private doubts, I might have allowed. But if he would dare interfere in legal proceedings sanctioned by the Holy See, I cannot. To defy the will of an Inquisitor is to commit heresy, a crime for which there is but one punishment. We must hold them until Lord Horsefront arrives this way. And remember, no harm can come to the Inquisitor. Oh well. Your shield is no sigil, sir. Do you serve the Holy See or one of our high houses? I serve a higher power. Algorithmically unyielding. Look, Lord Horsefront has come. In the name of Horsefort Toms, I demand that you lay down your arms. By this deed you disgrace your line, Lord Horsefront. Guardian scum, today you shall answer for your sins. And Wyvern? But there were no reports of Dravanian activity. This will not be forgotten. And now the Wyvern flees. There, he has a draconian rosary. It is not our intention to defy the will of the Archbishop, but this trial, like many others I fear, has been orchestrated by enemies of House Hellenard. They have used you and your fellows to sow discord, Inquisitor, to set brother against brother, that we may tear ourselves apart. The fervent imaginings of a desperate man. What proof have you of this? By the Fury, a draconian rosary? The knight who refused to yield, it was he who summoned the Wyvern. A heretic in the ranks of the Temple Knights. This has grave implications. Your claims would appear to have merit, Lord Horsefront. I shall withdraw my charges against Lord Francil pending further investigation. I trust you have not lost sight of that which first brought you to Corvus, Desiree. Pray locate your errant airship and use it. Lord Horshafant, I have not the words to express my gratitude, but why would you risk your reputation to save mine? Because I know you, boy. You're too loyal to betray Ishgard, too devout to question your sentence. Had you been any slower, you'd have jumped of your own free will. I would have done whatever it took to redeem House Hallenard. Praise alone it didn't come to that, but it profits us little to dwell on what might have been. Let us quit this place, Desiree. Pray visit me at Camp Dragonhead once you have recuperated. You look well, Desiree. May I say what a pleasure it was to fight alongside such a fearless and skillful warrior? Were it not for you, Lord Francil would surely have died defending the honor of his house, and I might well have perished at the hands of a heretic and his wyvern. House Fort Thomas and House Hallenard shall never forget your service. Now, let us return to the matter of your missing enterprise. A man with knowledge of the enterprise awaits you outside. I pray his information proves useful to you. How quickly the commoner's opinion changed. They say Lord Francil's innocent now, just a few days prior. Anyway, you were inquiring as to the whereabouts of an airship last seen in Corfu several days before the calamity, yes? Well, it so happens I was monitoring the night sky at the observatorium during that period. I recall that a small vessel came from the direction of Gridania and landed somewhere in the far northwest. Relying on my memory alone, I can say no more than that. However, were you to bring me the astroscope log from the evening in question, I could calculate a more accurate location. The log I require is volume 6 of a 1572 reading. It should be stored with the other past logs on the uppermost floor of the observatorium, just below the astroscope. I believe it will be a large red leather-bound tome, though you ought to confirm the date and volume number if you are at all unsure. I thought nobody is allowed to look at these save the astrologians, and now I am to bring that book? Did you perchance find the correct log? The 6th volume from 1572? I would understand if you failed. The other catalogers were often careless when returning old volumes to the shelf. My word, you actually found it. This musty old smell brings back such fond memories. Ah, here we are. If you permit me a moment to make some calculations, It is as I feared. The ship landed near the Stone Vigil of all places, which means that the garrison almost certainly seized the vessel and brought it within their walls. If so, then you would need an army of knights to have any hope of securing it. Though Lord Horshfant is, from all indication, quite fond of you, so perhaps he can lend you a few. In any case, I have done my part. I shall pray for your success, friend. Oh, so I've at last located the Enterprise. I believe congratulations are in order. The Stone Vigil, perhaps I spoke too soon. The outpost has been held by the dragons for years, and all access is restricted by decree of House Durandare. I will write a letter to Lord Drillmont of Whiteburn Front, and request that he grant you permission to enter. That said, I fear my influence alone will not suffice, so I suggest that you request Lord Francil to do the same. Now that your business in Camp Dragonhead is concluded, I suspect we may not meet again for some time. I wish you well on your journeys, Desiree. May alone guide you. Okay, but I end this episode here. So, until next time, when we look further after the Enterprise. I'm Mace, and don't get lost.